Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Burn the Wagon. It's been a while. Hi Len. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate just burning some sage real quick.
Oh,
So today, everyone that's just joining me, my guest is Rain, a local artist that I met through TikTok. So I'm just going to get started with a little prayer that I usually do, and then we'll get started. So I just want to
okay.
send prayers out there for all the people suffering from domestic violence. I want to send the prayers out there for everybody suffering from mental health issues. I want to put prayers up for anybody that's gone missing or has been murdered. I want to put prayers up for yourselves for being here today. And we want to put prayers down from precious Mother Earth. So thank you for joining me in Burn the Wagon, where we're here to verbally burn the wagon that is patriarchy, capitalism, and above all else, colonialism. So yeah, thank you. So today my guest is Rain, and I'll just go ahead and let you give a little bit of intro about yourself.
All right. So, hi, everybody. um, let's see how deep I want to go into it. I am an educator. I work in education. Um, and so I started this path in school. I got my degree in education, and then I moved to Asia for 4 years. I taught abroad there for 3 of the 4 years, traveled around about 10 countries out there, and then moved back in December of 2019. While I was there, I started writing poetry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I lived in a smaller village the last year, and people didn't really speak fluent English. So I started just taking to my notebook and writing there. And I didn't share it with anyone for like a year, a year or so. That was 2018. And then I moved back to the States and started sharing my work with people, and they loved it. It's funny when you're writing for years and you're the only person who sees it. Pretty
Yeah,
funny.
that's awesome that you finally put it out there because I was listening the other day and your flow is dope. I really like it.
Thank you.
So yeah, so I didn't send this question over, but I kind of really motivated you to get your teaching credentials? Like what kind of like started that ball rolling?
So I guess just the education that I got. I got overlooked a lot. I was in a lot of advanced courses, and for example, this is the first one that came to my mind. I was in the advanced placement courses, and I wasn't in the advanced placement program because you had to have your parents come and sign you up for the advanced placement program, and that just like wasn't happening at that time, and they excluded me from a lot of the college resources that the other students got. They excluded me from the field trips, from a lot of things that would have benefited me a lot. And you could just see blatantly how they keep people, in their place. That's what the whole system is created for. People say it's failing, but it's not failing. It's doing exactly what it was meant to do, right?
Absolutely.
So just the experience I got, growing up, I would just look around me like, are these adults serious? Like, I was just so confused all the time by the filth that was created in this nation, and how they just made it seem like it was okay. They normalized it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
our education system is not that great, and I can like I know from experience, like you're saying, like I didn't I wasn't given the best education. I wasn't given the right path. Like your teachers are supposed to send you down the right path at times, but I feel like at times that didn't happen. But also at times I was a little bit too stubborn because I don't want to learn from these white teachers. You know what I mean? Is a thing I like used to say a lot, but
yeah.
there's those people that did want to help and did want to teach. So I kind of regret like not listening to them, but I get what you're saying for sure. Is like not being led down the right path, not being heard. Definitely
Yeah.
as a what age group do you teach right now?
Right now, I work with high school students,
Okay,
and um, in Asia, I taught as a homeroom teacher, so I taught like all subjects, but first grade, third grade, and fifth grade. Yeah. And
That's
now, yeah.
that's cool. I think having more teachers like a person like you is awesome because I don't know, like I feel like I said before, it was kind of all just like uppity, tough, uptight, like teachers that growing up, and no one we can actually relate to.
Yeah.
When there's the teacher that you can relate to, it's a lot easier to learn. You're a lot more. I feel like you want to go to class more. You know.
Their
So
faces when they walk in and see me is like priceless. You're
yeah,
the teacher?
that's awesome. Do people get
Yeah.
really excited when they see you as a
Yeah.
teacher?
Yeah. So I work as a sub right now. I finished my credential in December 2019, but I don't actually have my credential because I'm not going to pay them $600 to take these tests in order to get it right now because I'm an abolitionist, full blown, obviously, full blown
Yeah,
abolitionist. So I seen how much energy it takes to work in the system in order to destroy it, and it doesn't work. So I have my credential in case I want to go to another country and use it, but right now, and I'm sure for a long period of my life, I'm supposed to be here in the middle of the filth in order to help it. But I mean, this stuff's going to be here whether we see it or not, or want to put ourselves in the position of seeing it or not. You know, I can go work at a charter school or go work in a Montessori school or something, but or start my own school, which big ups to, you know, my good friend Jordan McGowan, who's starting his own school in Sacramento. But I mean, these kids in the public school system are going to be there,
yeah,
whether we, for now, until we can create a solid foundation to overthrow it, you know.
absolutely. And you're teaching in San Diego?
Yeah. And I'm starting a nonprofit soon, actually, to bring mindfulness into the public schools. So I'd go into the different public schools and teach them breathing techniques, yoga, meditation, nutrition.
Awesome. And that's what we're talking about, all that decolonize the learning system too, because that's something that needs to go as well. So you kind of touched on, this is my first question, you kind of touched on writing poetry over in Asia. And I kind of want to just get back to that beginning, what really got you writing and who kind of really started you writing poetry, who got you, who taught you, who put the pen in your hand and started motivating you to put it to the paper.
So my older brother, my oldest brother, he is a hip hop artist as well, and he's phenomenal. And I just remember being like 6 years old, and he was 16 at the time, and he would only go places where I could go. He would like go to the mall and take me with him everywhere. And
Yeah.
he would be like spitting verses everywhere he went, you know, because he grew up in that real like hip hop era. So I got a taste of that from a really young age because a lot of people my age, I'm 30, didn't get that as much as the 40-year-olds nowadays. So he he really inspired me without knowing it. You know, he would play people like KRS-One, people like you know, Talib Kweli, Dead Prez, like people like that. He would play them and it was just in my subconscious because I didn't start re-listening to a lot of these people until recently. And I didn't really know it was happening. I just kind of flow with things in life and it leads me to where I'm supposed to be. And, you know, I started doing the poetry and then that turned into like a reggae song. That was the first song I wrote was a reggae song. And I sang it for my friend. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to write music for other people. He was like, are you kidding me? You need to write music for yourself. So,
Hell yeah. Is that
yeah.
song anywhere?
It's not. I kind of want to do it though. We'll
You
see.
should do it.
I'll put it out there. I'll put it out there.
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
love.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So yeah,
good.
okay. That's what started. Your brother is what. Yeah, you're right. Because I'm 29 and we kind of missed out on that raw, like you said, that raw hip hop. Because
Hmm.
it during our era, it was a lot of like poppy, clubby songs
Yeah.
going like, you know, in the club, like all that type of stuff. You know, we did get a little bit of Dre and like the stuff like that, but it wasn't, you know, that raw hip hop like you're saying. Because I'm
Yeah.
starting to get into like Talib Kweli a little bit more now. And there's other hip hop artists that I'm trying to get into that like before it's just like I didn't listen to it and it's all revolutionary stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
it's badass to hear this hip hop, this rap, just in spoken in stuff that I'm really into right now.
Yeah. You're gonna
You know
love my
that?
project. My next project I'm working on is full like boom bap, like heavy stuff. It's really, really good.
Hell yeah. And I saw that you're a part of a little of a hip hop group. We are Earth or we are Art.
Worth.
Worth. That's how you
Yeah.
that's that. And
Yeah. So
then
it's
if people want to go and follow that, you have an Instagram, right?
yeah, yeah, I'll type it in here. So Worth is short for Wind and Earth. I'll put it in there.
Awesome.
And yeah, so it's short for Wind and Earth. I'm Earth, and Scribe of Joseph is the Wind. He's an Aquarius. I'm a Virgo. So we're very much the embodiment. Like Virgos are very like the embodiment of Earth. Aquarians are very much the embodiment of wind, you know. So we are that dynamic. He's like my brother, you know.
How
So
long have you been a hip hop duo together?
so I started writing hit like that reggae song that I said I wrote, that was July of 2020. I wrote that.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope. I put out my first poem. I think it was about a year ago or a year and a half ago now. And I'm still working. I still don't. I'm still not exactly where I want to be, but yeah, definitely, it's definitely something I love to do. So like when you reached out and I heard your stuff, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to have her on the show.
Oh, bless. Yeah, I love it, man. It's like I don't even have words for it. I need to do this more than I need to breathe, you know, because it
Yeah.
just
Do you
gives
guys
a
have any shows or anything coming up soon?
Yeah, we have my friend Arlene throws a thing called Illuminate Healing. I'll tag them. And that is Sunday. What do we have Saturday? Saturday, we're just gonna go with my friend Atlas on the streets and just do some real like 90s hip hop stuff. So
Oh,
I'll tag him. So we're gonna go on the streets in San Diego Saturday night, probably go blow up a street with some revolutionary stuff. Sunday, the Illuminate Healing community event, and then Earth Day at the World Beat Center. So the World Beat Center is an African cultural center in San Diego. They work really strongly with the indigenous peoples here, and they're amazing, amazing, amazing people. Makeda Dredd is the founder, Black woman, and she there needs to be a movie made about her life. She just is the most selfless human being I've ever met, and
awesome.
artist worker. Her and the whole World Beat family. So we're blessed to be able to be a part of the Earth Day celebration. It's their biggest day of the year. It's like a huge, huge honor. We opened up for Yellow Man there.
Yo,
Yeah,
he's dope.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
I forgot to ask, you identify as indigenous, correct? And what
I,
what what
mhm.
tribes or tribe are you from?
So I identify as Afro-Indigenous,
Okay.
or Pan-African Indigenous. My mom is Seneca. I identify with the Seneca tribe. She's also Cherokee, but we more so identify with the Seneca tribe. And then my dad is African and Indian from India, which is also African, but a lot of Indian people don't realize that. And I mean, it's not in Africa, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Runoko Rashidi did a whole. He's a historian, a Black historian, and did a lot of work while he was on this earth in the background of Indian people and how they're directly connected to Africa.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, everyone really is, but you know, they're more recently. And my dad is also Cree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a cool combination of a lot of different things. I love it. So
yeah.
I'm Pomo and then Wapo and then my mom yeah, my mom Pomo Wapo and then Mexican. will be the other half for me. Yeah, I was born and raised in Point Arena. So yeah, that's a little bit of my background. And for anybody just joining, I just want to let you guys know we're here, burn the wagon. We're here to burn the wagon that is patriarchy, capitalism, and above all else, that colonialism. We're here with Rain, and the next question I kind of want to ask, and you were talking about being new to the hip hop game, but I still want to talk about it and being a woman of color in the hip hop game. And right now, I see a lot of dope female artists coming out, and yeah, I just think that's dope because there's a lot of dope artists out there, and it's not all males. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's a male-dominated place, and I think we need to amplify more women of color in the game. So yeah, let's just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't see a lot of us there because it could be exhausting. You know, women have had to step into these very masculine roles because men aren't, there's a off balance. That's why I don't consider myself a feminist, right? Because if you're a feminist and you want equal everything as a man, there's so much beauty in not being equal, you know, of having the different roles, which we still, that's part of dismantling the patriarchy, right? But just, you know, coming into the hip hop game, I have to like, for my self-care aspect of it, and for me to stay in my femininity, I have to still, you know, remember to do my meditations, to do my breath work, to go on hikes, to be close to nature. I have to do those things. I mean, I have to as a person regardless, but I could get caught up in all the things I have to do as a hip hop artist as well and working full time. But that's something, a balance that I've had to really create for myself. And then also when it comes to being a woman in the industry, you know, I don't work with that many people because there's just so many men that want to tell you what they can do for you. And first of all, they're usually all talk. You know, they're like, oh, I know this person, I know that person. I was on the boat with this like producer from like 2005. And it's just like, shut up. But it's just, it could be a little annoying, but it does take a certain type of person to be able to be in this industry and just laugh it off or like kind of discern what's happening in front of you and, you know, let people show you with actions instead of with their mouth. My mentor, Makeda Dredd, she's 80 years old and she's a, you know, dark-skinned black woman and been in the game for a long time. She was a DJ like a long time ago and she still works in music. So I learn a lot from her and how she maneuvers and, you know, how she still lives through compassion and grace and her femininity and her nurturing soul while also living in that discernment of, you know, not relying on other people and not, you know, taking care of herself for her health, the way she eats, you know. So it's just a lot of balance, keeping a few people really close to you and loving everyone from a little bit of a distance.
Yeah, that must get a because I definitely that makes sense to have a lot of people coming up to you. I can get you this. I can get you this. I can get you this because yeah, men are annoying like that. I can, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm saying that as a straight male. You know what I mean? That shit is fucking annoying. The way some, 'cause I go to places and watch shit and just it's a cringe to me when dudes go up to girls and like talk to them. I don't know, fucking that shit's weird.
It
But
is, right?
yeah, it's like most women don't want that interaction, that random interaction, like, hey, how's it going? Let's talk. Let's have your number. Like that's weird. That's always a cringe to me. So like you saying that, I
Mm-hmm.
can kind of picture like things like that going on in the hip hop game, like just to get
Yeah.
closer to this hip hop artist or this woman, you know.
Yeah. I've had more than one producer tell me, like, I know you feel the same way about me as I do you. I'm like, what? And it just blows my mind every time. Like this, it doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah, and having these conversations with a lot of like you said, dismantling the patriarchy, I'm starting to learn a lot, you know, about like how we've just done things wrong throughout just like history as men, you know what I mean? Because we always have that like entitlement of like we're in power because we have that patriarch there, you know what I mean? Like we're the patriarchy, so we should be listened to. And it's like, yo, no, like everyone should have an opinion. Everyone should be able to like put an input. Uh,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my opinion on that type of stuff. It's fucking annoying.
I appreciate you.
Um, so yeah, we kind of I want to kind of get into talking about decolonization, land back, and kind of what that means to you. You kind of already spoke on it, like creating schools and creating things like that, decolonizing our learning systems. So kind of just want to touch on each of those things because people think it's just a hashtag or it's just a
Yeah,
something we want to say on the internet, but it's like, nah, we want this shit back.
that part. Yeah, I've had some trolls on my music, just be like, what do you mean take the land back? Where's everyone gonna go? I'm like, it's not. But so to me, the society that they have set up to get us here is working in full function. It's not failing. It's working just how it was supposed to. That's why Reformation won't work. And we have to look at it from a selfless perspective. The reason why people are so stuck on Reformation is because they want to see change happen immediately. And we have to live, the indigenous peoples would say for the next 7 generations. But it might even go beyond that. But you just have to live outside of yourself, outside of your generation and your kids and your grandkids, and know that you're setting up something for a better world for later on. And that includes every aspect of the system. To me, the major ones are politics, healthcare, education, and police. And we have to all work together because we can't do this alone. For me, my biggest part of that is in education. And these are all, police officers have guns and they shoot people, but you have educators who are doing just as much damage to the kids' minds. They just don't have guns. But they get this ego trip in these systems because it's meant to deplete you and it's meant to drive you insane and like overwork you and make you so focused on your own perspective. And people, especially white people in this country, especially white males, get kind of a power, ego, controlling aspect to them because they have this trauma in their, not trauma, sorry. They have how we have how we have trauma embedded in our DNA from the things that have happened to our ancestors that we don't even know about by detail. The same things happen to them. So their power hungry, ego driven ancestors are embedded in their blood. And they have to do work to reverse that if they're really about this change. And we have to go in and really go local because politics are local. We have to go and source food from our as locally as we can, as locally as we can. We have to grow our own food. We have to use our own resources. We have to use our community. Internet's amazing, but we can also find somebody in our neighborhood that has the resources that we need and grow from there, because there's such an overpopulation of the world. If we continue to source everything from everywhere, it doesn't make any sense. Nothing's in harmony. We have to just focus and be present. That's getting back to the balance of the masculine and feminine too, is getting back to the present moment, the femininity of creation that's in every single one of us.
Absolutely,
That
100%.
was a lot. Sorry.
No, yeah, no, yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, and I keep seeing these kind of, like you said, comments of like, where are we gonna go or what do we do? It's like, no, like we just want to have a say in some of these things. Like in Northern California, they're dealing with cutting the redwoods down. Those redwoods are over 100, 200 years old. We don't want those down. And then on top of that, redwoods are the number one emitter of oxygen for our people, for everybody, and that's everybody in the world. That's putting out oxygen, and it we're not going to push you out. We're not going to make you go anywhere. And there's also instances of some reservations don't have clean running water. They don't have a way to get propane. They don't have certain things in their communities that these other communities in neighborhoods like, say, Santa Cruz, where I live, they have running water, they have electricity, they have everything they might need, and reservations don't have these things. So like that's a big thing for me, is like getting land back and getting certain people water. And like places like Flint, Michigan shouldn't be without water. I know this isn't like a this is not, it's not a reservation, but it is a,
Yeah.
it is a place where people of color live, and it's a place where, like you said, the system has been set up and it is working the way it is set up. So yeah.
It's all politics, you know. If people weren't allowed to make as much money as they were in this country, like these large companies need to be split into 20 to 50 companies. There's no reason why these people have this much money. And the reason why people don't have clean water is because of the the allowance of extreme wealth.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
And I look around Santa Cruz sometimes as I ride my bike around. I see some of these houses, and some of these houses nobody's lived. They stayed there for probably a year or months, or they probably only came here because of the pandemic. And it's like there should not be that much money in this world.
no, and people
With
are
with
sleeping on the ground. Don't make any
Yeah,
sense.
there absolutely, and down like not even a half a mile away downtown, there's people just suffering with in the coldest nights of the year. You know what I mean? It's like it's wild to me that all this money exists, but we still have people suffering in certain situations. It's crazy. And like you said, it's the system. Like you continue to say, the system is set up. It's not failing. It's set up to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing of decolonizing. You know what I mean? We have to get away from that, like, money hungry systems, because that's what's controlling us at this point. And
Yeah.
like, how do you feel about people getting involved in politics? People like us, like, so obviously you said you're an abolitionist, but like, and it's like, it's so hard to defeat it from the inside. So where do we go from here?
Yeah. Um, I worked, my mom works at the state capitol, but she works for the health committee. So she doesn't work for like a politician.
Hmm.
So growing up, being around that, I learned a lot. And I decided to work there for a while as a secretary for Senator Richard Pan while I was, before I think I was in the middle of my undergrad. And I worked there just to learn, he was the education chair, so I wanted to learn the political side of education. And it's a mess. Where we could start, it is still a reformist idea, but where we could start with politics is to end lobbying. Lobbying is destroying us because you go into a fundraiser and the dude from Tyson has, or Big Pharma has a $20,000 check that they're writing out to the politician for their fundraiser. And you have people calling, when you call your politician, you're like, I'm, you know, I don't support this bill.
Yeah.
They make note of it. Like they don't keep record of that. It's not, I don't think it's legal, but they don't do it. So they sit there and they, pretend to really care about what the people want. But as long as, and that's why people go into the Capitol and they go voice their opinion, they have meetings with the politicians, you're allowed to do that. But people don't know their rights. They don't know what they're allowed to do. Most people don't know you can just walk in the Capitol building and go talk to your politician and be like, yo, I don't support this. You can do that. You can schedule a meeting with them.
I have no
But
idea.
you can, yeah, you can schedule a meeting with them or with their team. Somebody on their team will talk to you if you go in there and talk to them. But when it comes to lobbying, like say there's a politician and there's 10 bills and he's actually a good dude, good politician. He wants to do good things for the community. He's going to vote properly on 9 out of the 10 of those bills. But when it comes to the one bill that's supporting him financially because Big Pharma is putting money in his pocket, he's going to vote the wrong way on one of those bills. And that's what really screws us over, And it's there's just loopholes on loopholes on loopholes everywhere. They put loopholes in things on purpose. But the biggest problem is lobbying and making things to such a big extent. You know, I posted a video about a Senate bill and a resolution that people should go text and sign the petition. But normally I don't touch politics unless it's locally, like something that has to concern me locally, because these bills actually do affect you in your
And
local.
what is that, Bill? So people
Um,
can go out to.
I could put it in the chat.
So I saw
So,
that post too, and yeah,
or
it's
people could just go. They can go to my last post and see it. It's there if you'd like to.
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100% on corporate lobbying corrupting our democracy. So yeah, we got a comment right there.
Yeah, some bullshit. And then they take that money that they campaign for and they go to 5-star sushi restaurants. They ain't going out there doing anything with that money. I've eaten that 5-star sushi restaurant money with, you know. That's why I worked there just to see what it was like.
Yeah. Was your mom? How long has your mom worked out there for?
20 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was she there on the 6th of January?
Yeah.
Wow.
At California Capitol
Oh,
building.
I thought she was
Yeah.
in I thought she was in
In DC.
Washington. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no.
And you did you grow up in Sacramento?
So I grew up in Sacramento. I was born in Baltimore, and my dad's family all lives there. My mom's family is all in Sacramento. Our ancestors came over from Oklahoma to Sacramento and have been there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there any like any cultural practices that you practice or anything, or do you guys still have family over there in Oklahoma or anything?
We're finding them now.
Okay.
So mom just found my dad's birth certificate, found the reservation that he is from, and she's in contact with a couple of her cousins as of like last month. It's pretty cool. So
Wow.
yeah,
I hope that journey goes amazing because that's awesome. And I hope you
yeah.
guys get to go back and walk the lands of wherever your ancestors
Oh,
were.
we will for sure. She's been doing a lot of research. My ancestors are Maria Tallchief. She's the first American prima ballerina. Eli S. Parker. That's a big one. So who Robert E. Lee of the Confederate Army surrendered to is our ancestor.
Wow.
He's Seneca. Yeah.
That's some history to be a part of right there, man.
Yeah.
You're taking that what was in them and you're taking it and you're taking that fire with you, you know what I mean? You're just carrying that, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now I just want to go ahead and let you plug any of your music that you wanna, or if there's any topics that I didn't bring up that you really want people to get out there and you want people to pay attention to, like this last bill that we were talking about. Any concerts that people, because I got a couple of followers in here from San Diego that people might be able to check out.
Nice.
And if your hip hop duo has a website, if you guys got wherever you guys got music, Spotify, let them know all that stuff.
Yeah, everything's in my link tree. So if I would appreciate the support. You know, it's not easy as an independent artist. You have a lot of people who support you, but um, you know, it's still not easy. Just listening and sharing is like huge, huge, huge for us. Or if anything resonates with you, like you know, where people just message me, like talk to me. I'm huge on, you know, talking to my community and building. So if anything, you know, resonated with you, just reach out to me. But if you go to my link tree, all of my music's on there, as well as Worth's music. We have Worth and Rain. So it's all pretty organized. But our website, I'll put in my website for worth.me. And then my website is here. But again, you can go to my link tree. All the music's there. We're on all platforms. Um, and we have all of our upcoming shows on there as well. But the World Beat Center on Earth Day is going to be mad. We have shows almost every week, at least one show. We have two this week, two next week. We have Earth Day, the Sunday of Earth Day. So I think it's the 24th, that Sunday. And then we also have every last Friday at the World Beat Center, we're hosting a hip hop poetry soul open mic. And that's huge because they haven't had anything like that in a while since before COVID.
Wow.
And we got the honor of hosting it. Yeah. And then May 11th, we are performing at THC, the holding company, with a live band. That's going to be awesome. We're headlining there.
And do you always perform with a live band, or is it just a
No,
DJ?
both. So sometimes a DJ, sometimes a live band. The live band is like we're insane with a live band just because we're full like, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I love music with a live band. That's the dope stuff right there.
Yeah,
And I
you're
love
the
when it's
first show.
yeah, yeah, I love when it's incorporated with hip hop too. It's fucking dope.
Yeah,
And
you
the
gotta come for a show for sure.
and the thing I also just was curious about, where did the name Rain come from? Is there any significance to that at all?
Yeah, so I when I lived in Asia, I lived when I was in Thailand. My Thai friends gave me the name Phone, which means rain.
Wow.
And
Huh.
when they gifted it to me, I didn't really realize why yet. It was when I first, maybe a year or two after I lived there, and I didn't really realize how impacting it was. And they have a saying, "Memi phone, memi ton mai," or "Memi phone, memi dok mai," which means no rain, no flower. I have it tattooed on me as "Memi phone, memi ton mai," no rain, no trees. And um, without, just without the rain, we can't have anything. And I've always been that person. Like if we're, walking around downtown when I was in my early 20s and we're having drinks and I go and I'm walking past the homeless people, I go sit on the floor with them and talk to them. And my friends used to get driven insane because I would always be the rain. I would always be that person that saw things for what they were and, would go on rants and they couldn't stand it, but they loved it at the same time. And that's just it's so perfect for what I'm doing now because that's no matter what, the rain's gonna be there, and we need the rain. We need
That's
it.
dope. That's a dope story. I really like that. And it's awesome that you can say the translation and everything that they gave, that they gave you the actual translation, that you can speak the language how it's said. Are you fluent in, or could you speak any other languages other than English? Obviously you lived over in
I
Asia for a long
Thai.
time.
I speak a good amount of Thai. I'm not
That
fluent. I can't read or write, but
that's cool. That's really
yeah.
cool. So we gotta thank you so much for your beautiful voice, Rain. Let's counter the white supremacist, money-hungry corporate systems with communities like this.
Big ups,
So,
Rachel. Thank you.
yep, yeah, that's the homie Rachel. She's a part of the Burn the Wagon team. She's yeah, so she's got a lot of knowledge too. So thank you, Rachel, for tuning in.
Thank
Yeah,
you. That's
that's about all I had for. If is there anything else that you had? I think that's all the questions I had. I got my brain's, because I'm like, wow, that was a good conversation. So my brain's like, got a bunch going on right now.
No, that was beautiful. I'm really happy. I feel like
Awesome.
yeah, yeah, it was good.
Again, thank you so much for joining me. If I'm ever in the San Diego area, I'd definitely check you guys out. And
Yes, and I'll hit you up. We're supposed to go on tour as soon as we got the finances to do it. So that should be hopefully this year, if not early next year. But I think this year we'll make it happen, and we're going through Santa Cruz too. So we want to tap in with the catalyst up there.
absolutely tap in with me in Santa. If you're in Santa Cruz, I'm down to link up.
Yeah.
We got another comment said thank you. So yeah, so
Um,
people are loving your conversation today. So thank you, loving your story, and this is what it's all about: getting our stories heard and getting our voices out there. So thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
No problem.
All right, peace.
Peace. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you everyone for joining me today with me and Rain, our discussion. If you want to check us out, please follow us, or any other discussions like this. Check us out here on Instagram. We also are on YouTube at Burn the Wagon, where we're here to verbally burn the wagon that is capitalism, colonialism, and patriarchy. Peace out, everyone.